Hello everyone and welcome. Today, we're exploring Alzheimer's genetic testing. What is Alzheimer's? Alzheimer's disease is a progressive neurodegenerative disorder, which means it gradually damages and breaks down certain parts of the brain over time. Specifically, it targets brain cells, or neurons, particularly in areas that control memory, thinking, and reasoning. As these neurons deteriorate, they lose their ability to communicate with one another, leading to symptoms like memory loss, confusion, and changes in behavior. Let's look at what causes Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's disease results from a combination of genetics and environmental factors. Certain genetic variations can increase the risk of developing Alzheimer's, such as changes in the APOE gene, which is associated with how the brain processes fats. However, inheriting these genetic variations doesn't guarantee Alzheimer's, rather, it increases susceptibility. Environmental factors also play a critical role. Lifestyle choices like diet, physical activity, and mental stimulation can either contribute or help protect against Alzheimer's. For example, staying socially active and regularly exercising may lower risk, while conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and even exposure to pollutants could increase it. Ultimately, Alzheimer's develops through a complex interaction between genetics and the environment, a process scientists call gene-environment interaction. Understanding this interplay is crucial as it guides research into potential treatments and preventative strategies. First, let's explore how 23andMe tests for genetic risk factors associated with Alzheimer's. One of the main genetic markers 23andMe examines is a variant in the APOE gene, specifically in the APOE E4 allele. In fact, according to a landmark study by Corder in 1993, the presence of the APOE E4 allele can increase one's risk of Alzheimer's significantly, especially for those who inherit two copies of this allele. This gene encodes a protein called apolipoprotein E, which plays a vital role in lipid transport and injury repair, particularly in the brain. Apolipoprotein E is mainly expressed in brain cells called astrocytes, which nourish neurons and help maintain the blood-brain barrier. Apolipoprotein E is crucial for clearing amyloid beta plaques, one of the primary indicators of Alzheimer's in the brain. When this protein's function is disrupted due to the APOE4 variations, it can lead to an accumulation of these plaques, which impairs memory and cognitive abilities over time. The association between APOE4 and Alzheimer's underscores the impact that variations in specific proteins can have on disease risk. While the 23andMe test provides valuable insights, we could develop a more comprehensive test using a custom SNP chip that includes additional genetic markers associated with Alzheimer's. Currently, 23andMe tests focus primarily on fewer variations, largely centered around APOE. By including around 500,000 to 1 million DNA variations, we'd be able to identify more genes with potential links to Alzheimer's risk. One example is the SORL1 gene, which is not typically included in 23andMe's tests, but has shown a strong connection with late-onset Alzheimer's. Variants in the SORL1 affect the production of the sortilin-related receptor, a protein expressed in neurons. This receptor is crucial for processing amyloid precursor proteins. When this process is altered, amyloid beta builds up, leading to plaque formation in the brain. Research by Rogeva in 2007 suggests that specific SORL1 variants have relatively strong predictive value for Alzheimer's, especially when combined with other genetic risk factors. In addition to SORL1, we can include genes like CLU and PCOM, which are linked to immune response and plaque clearance. A 2011 study by Reitz highlighted the role of CLU in Alzheimer's, suggesting that it contributes to the disease progression by influencing inflammation in the brain. Similarly, PCOM impacts synaptic function and cell membrane transport, playing a crucial role in how neurons communicate. By covering these additional genes, our test could provide a more complete genetic risk profile, going beyond the information that APOE alone provides. A broader genetic test provides a more complete picture of a person's genetic risk for developing Alzheimer's. While the APOE E4 allele remains the most well-known genetic marker associated with Alzheimer's, it only accounts for a portion of the risk. By including variants in genes like SORL1, CLU, and PCOM, we can identify other genetic factors that may contribute to Alzheimer's development. These genes are involved in critical processes such as amyloid beta clearance, synaptic function, and immune responses, which are all relevant to the progression of the disease. The inclusion of these markers could lead to a more nuanced risk assessment, helping individuals understand their genetic predisposition in a more comprehensive way. A broader genetic test provides a more complete picture of Alzheimer's by including markers beyond the APOE4 allele. such as SORL1, CLU, and PCOM. These genes influence amyloid beta clearance, synaptic function, and brain inflammation, contributing to disease progression. By incorporating these markers, the test offers a more nuanced risk assessment, helping identify individuals who may benefit from earlier monitoring or intervention. With a comprehensive genetic profile, individuals can tailor lifestyle choices to reduce Alzheimer's risk, such as physical activity and mental stimulation. This personalized approach allows healthcare providers to target care plans and empowers individuals to take proactive steps in managing their health. Expanding genetic testing also accelerates research into Alzheimer's by identifying new therapeutic targets and improving our understanding of the gene-environment interactions. This could lead to a more effective treatment and possibly a cure in the future. Additionally, early detection through genetic testing could help identify individuals at higher risk before symptoms emerge, enabling preventative measures like cognitive monitoring and lifestyle adjustments. This is especially beneficial for those with a family history of Alzheimer's. Of course, genetic testing has its limitations. Our understanding of Alzheimer's genetics is still evolving, and we know that having a particular genetic variation doesn't mean that someone will necessarily develop the disease. Likewise, a negative result for these risk factors doesn't guarantee protection from Alzheimer's, as many environmental and lifestyle factors also play a role. Moreover, certain genes like CLU and PCOM only increase the risk by a small percentage, so they are a part of a larger picture that involves complex genetic interactions. Even if someone tests positive for a variant in SORL1, for example, this alone is not fully predictive of Alzheimer's. It simply indicates a higher likelihood when combined with other factors. Lastly, with any genetic test, there are important ethical considerations. Learning about an increased genetic predisposition for Alzheimer's can have both emotional and financial effects. Some individuals might experience anxiety or feel overwhelmed by the results, especially since Alzheimer's has no cure yet. There may be stress associated with planning for future care and financial management. On the other hand, some may find value in knowing their risk, as it could allow them to make lifestyle adjustments or consider long-term plans for healthcare and support. Genetic counseling can help people interpret these results and understand what steps to take next. In terms of cost, more comprehensive testing could be expensive. It's essential to consider whether benefits of the additional information justify the financial investment, especially given the current limits in our ability to prevent or treat Alzheimer's.